Hi everyone, welcome back to the Greatness Everyday YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 money goals that you should absolutely consider having for this upcoming year. And if you're a new viewer here on my channel, my name's Matt and I go ahead and I talk about money, mindset, and more in these videos. So please go down below, hit the subscribe button, and tap the bell to find out when I release a new video. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that the fact that this past year has been challenging for many of you watching this video. We saw countries shut down, people lose their jobs, and we still have a lot of questions about what the next year is going to hold for us. And for me, this past year has brought a lot of challenges, that's for sure, but it also gave me the opportunity to look deep into my life and see where I could level up. And this past year, the biggest area that I leveled up with was my money. I discovered how I was using it. I figured out how I could use it better. I stacked and grew an additional source of income. I actually went ahead and I bought a new vehicle without using the pay from my regular full-time job. And in November, I increased my net worth by a dollar amount that I never thought was possible for a regular person like me. And it's safe to say that I'm ending this year with a lot of momentum, and I only expect that to continue to grow in the future. So I'm excited to see where that takes me, and that's why I made this video, because I hope it helps you do the same. Before I get to the 5 money goals that you should absolutely consider having next year, I want to encourage you that the best thing you can do before you set any financial goal is to upgrade your money mindset. I went ahead and did this by challenging the beliefs I had about money, thinking about where they came from and how they were formed. I've surrounded myself with a community of people who were doing what I wanted to do, either virtually or in person if I could get to them. And I've stepped out and taken calculated risks that have done nothing but prove to me that my money can grow, which simply gives me a greater tool to live by my purpose. So regardless of where you are financially, upgrading your money mindset is one of the best things I believe you can do next year. In terms of the 5 money goals to have next year, the first thing to do is establish a solid emergency fund, because we don't know what the next year has in store for us. And one of the best ways to financially protect ourselves and our peace of mind is to know that you have some money in the bank in case you need it. When I created my emergency fund, I went ahead and I wanted to make sure I had at least 3 months of my monthly needs in a safe and secure account. And that way, if something happened and I ever needed it, I could access it easily and I wouldn't have to spend time worrying about where the money is going to come from. If you want to build your emergency account up to something like 6 months for peace of mind to give you that extra room, that's great. But I wouldn't go higher than this, because I feel that I could better use this money elsewhere and I could have it grow for me. So once your emergency fund is established, the only rule I have is not to touch it and only use it in an emergency. The second thing to do is you need to get better at understanding where your money is going. And I did this last year by tracking my expenses. To get a quick idea of this, I tracked my expenses for 1 month, and this really opened my eyes to some of the good and at the same time to some of the bad money habits that I had. And for example, I was able to see how much money I spent eating out every single month, and I really didn't realize that number was so high. So after getting that final number, and I realized if I ate out less, I could invest more, I set the goal of eating out once a week, and then I took that leftover money and invested it, which is something that I'm much more excited to do. And tracking your money for 1 month gives you a short-term idea of how you use your money. And I'd encourage you to do it for something like 2 or 3 months, 90 days, to get a more consistent idea of how you use your money. Then you can create a plan that helps you use your money better. The third thing to do is to add another source of income. This has been one of the best things that I did this past year, without a doubt, because adding another income source really allowed me to make money while doing something that I was passionate about. And that's the dream. It was only a couple $100s per month when I started at the beginning of the year, but that grew to over $1,000 per month at the end of the year. And I'm also anticipating that to grow going forward. And with that extra money I had from this stream of income, I was able to do things like reinvest it back into my business. I was able to reward myself with a trip. And part of this additional income is paying for my new vehicle. As we move into another year, okay, I am going ahead, I'm adding another additional stream of income. And that's really been part of the reason that I took a break here on YouTube in this past month as I was preparing to release that. That's the biggest reason I would encourage people to add another income source, is because you can literally do whatever you want to do. And some people can actually end up replacing their full-time income with their side income from things like affiliate marketing, YouTube channels, and many other things. I've got videos here on my channel to help you with that. And the fourth thing to do is to invest a percentage of your income. This has been the, without a doubt, biggest area of financial growth over the past year. And I had been waiting for a recession or economic uncertainty for a few years to happen. And I can remember reading and researching about how to double or triple your net worth during a recession. And I spent a lot of time, about a year and a half, preparing for this. So when things started to drop last year and that dip happened, I took advantage of it, and I've been rewarded because of this. I really believe that everyone should be investing a percentage of their income in something like an ETF, stocks, businesses, real estate, and maybe even cryptocurrency, depending on their personal goals and what their tolerance for risk is. And I think it's really something like this that I've spent the last month really making sure that this online course that I've created for Greatness Every Day, called the 6 Principles of Successful Investing, it's coming out in January 2021. So if you want to learn the principles that I use to invest my money that tripled my net worth, please go down and click the link in the subscription below. And I know you're going to get tons of value from it. Regardless if you check that course out or not, investing is one of the best ways that you can grow your money, and you can actually do it without risking a lot. The fifth thing to do is to give a percentage away. And this is probably not what you're thinking here or expecting to see in a video on money goals for the next year, but it's important. This past year, I was able to make donations to things like my church, to charities, to causes that I support. And I really went ahead and I did this because I'm grateful for the opportunity that I had to increase my net worth. But I also view money as a tool that allows me to make a greater impact in the world based on the values that I have. In the end, you're ultimately the one who decides what you do with your money, but I would encourage you to take a look at your values and ask yourself, how can my money be a tool for me to live out my values, and see where this takes you. So there are the 5 money goals that I think you should have for next year. These have greatly impacted my life, and I'm excited to see where they take me in the next little bit and how they grow in the coming years for you as well. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button, drop any questions down below, and subscribe for more videos on money, mindset, and more. Thanks for watching. Remember, choose greatness every day, and I'll see you next time.